Jersey Mayor Ras Baraka, a Democrat currently running for governor of New Jersey. Mayor, we can't stress how much we appreciate you joining us tonight. You and I go way back, been through many causes together, including recently dealing with DEI and other issues. But please tell us what happened yesterday. Why were you there at Delaney Hall in Newark, which has become a major site for Trump's migrant purge? How were you treated at the separate ICE facility where you were held for several hours? And how will you respond as the Trump administration issues more threats against officials, elected officials, who impede its deportations?
First, thank you, Reverend Al. I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to speak. Yeah, I was invited there for a press conference that the Congress people was having. It's important to note that I was there that morning, and I was there at least 3 or 4 mornings before that with our fire inspector, denied entry. We served them a citation because we were in court. I left, came back for this press conference, was there for at least an hour and a half before some folks from HSI came. Actually, the special agent in charge never saw the special agent in charge make an arrest. It would be like our police director going downtown arresting somebody for jaywalking or trespassing. But he comes out and, confronts me, out of all people, comes right to me. That's why I think it's targeted. Tells me to get out. Several times I leave the gate. Finally waits till I'm outside of the gate. And, the agents came out, ICE agents came outside where I was and tried to arrest me there. And they did. They arrested me. The scene got crazy. So I kind of acquiesced and allowed them to arrest me and take me.
They arrested you outside of the gate?
Yes, outside of the gate. I was already outside when they arrested me.
Wow. Now, take a listen to Trump's border czar, Tom Homan's take on what's driving you and other officials protesting their migrant purge.
These elected politicians know that. This isn't about due process. This isn't about constitutional rights. This is about politics. They simply don't want these people removed from this country. They don't want immigration enforcement in this country. And that's what it's all about. They can stand out and scream all they want. They can trespass, they'll be arrested. If they impede, they'll be arrested. If they knowingly harbor and conceal, they'll be arrested.
What's your reaction to that, Mr. Mayor?
Well, I think due process is politics. It's policy, and policy is a part of politics. Politics is what established the Constitution of the United States, is what established the Bill of Rights. That's exactly what it's about due process. Whether we can disagree on immigration policy until the cows come home, but at the end of the day, everybody has a right to due process. If you step foot on this soil, you have a right to the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. That's what separates this country from other countries around the world. Maybe he doesn't know that and is not ready to defend that, but we are.
Now, what's next legally in your case? And as importantly, or more importantly, for the detainees currently in Delaney Hall? I know ministers and others, groups, New Jersey National Action Network and others are calling meetings to see what will happen to them. Are there any in there that are being detained that shouldn't be entertained there? What's next with your case and the pursuit of finding out who's in that detention center and who should not be there?
Well, on May 15th, I have a pretrial hearing. They're treating this just like a regular case. I was arrested. I was put in a cell. I was given a mugshot, fingerprinted, charged with a federal crime of trespassing. I might add the police in there treated me pretty good, by the way. I mean, they gave me with respect and dignity. So I appreciate that. But I've been tried. I have to go to pretrial hearing. Ray Brown is representing me, and we're going to see this thing through. And I'm going to go back there and continue to try to gain entry with our fire inspector. And I know there's some protests that other people are planning coming forward. And if I feel obligated to be there, I will. And so this doesn't stop. The city is in contention with the GEO group, and we're going to continue in court with them.
Now, did you get any idea of how many people are detained in there and how many are there possibly wrongly or illegally, and how many are there legally? Because we're seeing, if you think of the case of Garcia in El Salvador, where they admitted the federal government he shouldn't have been deported. Do you have any sense of whether everyone in that detention center ought to be there?
See, and that's the point of contention here. We don't know what's going on in there. We don't know who's in there. They don't allow inspections. They're not doing, they're not complying with the local laws. They don't have a certificate of occupancy in our argument. And we were in court arguing these matters. They feel like they don't have to go to court. They have a contention. We have a contention. They have an opinion. We do. We usually solve those problems in America through the court of law. They don't want to use the court. They want to use a decree. They believe that what they say goes, that we have a kingdom here and not a democracy. And that's the problem.
Now, I'm talking for myself, I was deeply disappointed to learn yesterday that while the Trump administration was arresting you for standing up for migrants, they were also finalizing plans to fly white South Africans that they are calling refugees to the United States on State Department charter flights starting next week. They are organizing what White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller calls a large-scale relocation effort for these white migrants from South Africa, even while they're terrorizing other mostly non-white migrants who have been here for years. It seems to be a very clear signal of the racial politics behind this immigration crackdown. Doesn't that appear that way to you, Mayor Baraka?
Yeah, I don't think they've been hiding it, though. It's just that's kind of white supremacist authoritarianism that's happening. This country is slipping into authoritarianism, and we're watching it. We're watching them defy the courts. We're watching them lock up elected officials, put pressure on large legal organizations, make it difficult for people to oppose them, and attacking Black and brown communities, attacking DEI, now flying white Afrikaners over here to the United States to find refuge where they deny refuge for everybody else, from war-torn communities at that. I mean, this is very clear to us. It has always been clear to me, and our job is to make sure we expose it.
Before I let you go, Mr. Mayor, radar screens serving Newark Liberty International Airport went black early Friday morning, the latest in a series of safety scares involving air traffic control at one of the region's busiest airports. The FAA says it's working to fix the problem. Some elected officials have called for investigations. How's your city been impacted by this, Mr. Mayor?
Well, you see that there's, almost chaos at the airport, all this cancellation and delaying of flights. I'm actually glad they cancel and delaying flights, because if they didn't, there would be more tragedies in the air. So it's safer, but it's inconvenient now because they need to hire air traffic controllers. They need to fix what's happening in the infrastructure, and they need to do some immediate things right now. I'm glad they moved off of this DEI thing and began to realize that there's a real systemic problem with the air traffic controllers in the airspace in our area. And they should. We do need to have a real investigation about what's happening in this region or in this country around the FAA and air traffic controllers. Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you for being here with us tonight. Ras Baraka, Mayor of Newark, New Jersey, candidate for governor of New Jersey. Joining me now